As we all know, it's a very crowded evening. We have a lot of feminine personalities here. So, as we all know, today's guest is not a simple guest. If you were to ask me to show an example of India, I would proudly present today's chief guest as a perfect example of India. Please put your hands together and welcome Mrs. Usha Hodder. Also, let me take this opportunity to introduce a writer, editor, and a translator. She has worked in the media for the past 10 years with publications like Hindustan Times, India Today, among others. She is extensively covered culture, art, fashion, travel, heritage, languages, books, and human narratives in her work. She currently works as an independent writer, and she lives in Bombay. The person who translated this beautiful book, Mrs. Srishti Jha.
Hi everybody, namaskaram, sat sri akal, salam alaikum. What a fantastic energy truly in this room. The minute we walked in, there's something about this really. There's something so beautiful about all of you coming here in such large numbers. Thank you very much. We've been to Sharjah and to Dubai so many times, but never for something like this. And makes me feel so overwhelmed, as you can feel from the way I'm talking. It's really amazing. Thank you all for being here. And for me this is really special because I'm also here with Srishti Jha, who has written the book. And it was fantastic that this, Sharjah International Book Fair could do all this for so many days. And unfortunately or fortunately, I don't look like Shah Rukh Khan, but we can hope that we'll enjoy a lot more today because it's really fantastic. And to have Srishti over here, and of course Samaresh and Rinta, who have managed this whole thing for me. I will talk about all the other wonderful people like Anup and Rekha and Rajiv, where are you? Jose. So many wonderful people who have made all this happen. I'm really excited. Truly, truly excited to be with you and to be with Srishti. Up to you.
I would also like to add that Usha ji turned 75 on November 8th. So let's all of us wish her a very happy 75th birthday. So Usha ji, let's start with that. You turned 75 this year, and what a glorious life you've lived, which is not only full of accolades, but it is also full of struggles. And the sense of fearlessness that you had at that point of time can only be imagined by us. You are somebody who's lived that. So, how do you feel, it's like looking back, it's like what do you really think, what comes to your mind? When you, it's like look back at a career, 54, 55 years of career in this industry, and you're still going on, still like so much in love with music. And I've also heard you say that you've just begun. So I would like you to shed some light on that.
Yes, most people are wary of talking about their age, and I consider it truly something great. Something given by God, that we get up every morning and we're thankful and grateful to Him for giving us one more day, because if I didn't have that one extra day, I wouldn't be with all of you. So it's really fantastic to be able to say, yes, I completed 75 years on November 8th, and all your wishes and everything, best wishes and flowers or emails would be welcome. You can say belated, I'd still be happy. So Srishti, look at the way this journey of 53 years has happened for me, 53 years of singing. Look at the generations, look at you and look at me. Yeah. So really age is just a number, truly. I know it's a cliche, everybody talks about age being a number, and it's not just a cliche. The truth is that it really is a number. I'm sure all of you would be feeling it at some time or the other, that there are so many different things we notice about ourselves. Oh, okay. Okay. See, I'm speaking so well. This is my real voice. Okay, he says, no. So here it is. You ready for the shock? Thank you. Actually, I wear the mask because I want to also, not only am I scared, I also want to show you that it's not just, Just remember to tell me to wear the other one afterwards, okay? See what I did for you. Let's give him a big hand. So 75 years of obedience. I always listen to my audience, always, because my audience is what has made me. And with all humility and gratitude, I say thank you for being here for me for so many years. Some of you weren't even born. Some of you probably don't even know about me. But it doesn't matter. You'll get to know me if you read the book. And in our conversation today. Do we have any ticker time that's going on? Tick, 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 tick. No. Oh, lovely. So we can have a great time tonight and probably catch the flight straight from here back. I think the energy that people give me in the audience, from the audience, is what, as I always say, life and music is cyclic. What goes up must come down and goes right around again. And I think that's what makes me carry on, is the energy that all of you give me. If it weren't for you, it wouldn't be possible, because I have never learned a note of music. So when you say, when I look back, there are so many people who talk about so many struggles. Funnily enough, in 53 years, I've never spoken about a struggle in my life. Never. And the first time that we ever spoke about any struggle, I just feel it's so negative to have to speak about it. But when your father asked me those questions, then to speak on a 1:1 basis and then have it, I was scared actually that it would be put in the book. And yeah, you're telling him that you like my sari? In the third row, you're telling him you like my sari? Did you tell him you like my sari? No, the person next to you. Yeah. That's your husband? No, somebody else's husband. Who cares? That's even better. Lovely. So I don't miss a thing actually. For me, it's more important that we have wonderful people all the way through. And I think it's really been something that it wasn't even a conscious effort not to talk about struggles. But because I've always noticed that when people smile, that energy is so fantastic. And that's all I'm looking for. Sometimes I, wonder how there are people who just forgotten to smile. And of course, COVID hasn't helped either. In fact, I think that's ruined so many things for all of us. But it's not just one person, it's the whole world who's going through it, yeah? So I think when I've never spoken about my struggles, what you will see in the book, or read in the book, a couple of my struggles. Life has never been easy for anyone. You can't just get to the top, or if you call it the top. As far as I'm concerned, we're always on one level. It's your mind, your soul that... it's funny, isn't it? How we think about age as linear, A to Z. But I don't think of it like that. I think of it as circular, and as you go on with life, you don't make the same mistakes, you get into the next level. And then when you get into the next and you don't make those mistakes again, one day you just go off. And I think it's all about, realizing your limitations and weaknesses and knowing that it doesn't matter, really. Just move on. Just move on. Don't think about the sad things that are happening, because there's so much of misery anyway. So you might as well look at the happy things in life. And some of the happy things that I've thought in my life is that I come from such a fantastically middle-class family, and we were so happy in all that we got and all that we had. We didn't have so many exposures to, the brands and things like that the kids have today. We were very happy with whatever we had. So when you weigh the pros and cons and think about the struggles and think about the happy things that are happening, I think the happy things win hands down, which is why I didn't really talk about my struggles. But yes, it doesn't mean that we've not had anything. I mean, women will know we go through our own struggles, but men have their own struggles too. And I think together, if we walk hand in hand, I think it makes for a better world. And hi, the guys with the white caps. You come late, doesn't matter. Get the happiness and the energy from people around. But yes, things like my hemiparesis, nobody knew about it, and I never talked about it for so many years, where I was paralyzed half side, yeah. And I think the incentive at that time was that I was just starting my career, 1969. So, music was the incentive, and also falling in love and being in love. Actually, when you say fall in love, you can fall out of love also, no? So better not to say just in love with somebody. And for me, that, of course, was my biggest scandal, the only scandal that I had. How sad. I wish I had more scandals, the girls today, oh, bapre. I wish I could have had more. No, actually, I'm still trying to seduce my husband, but it's not happening. But it doesn't matter. So, you see, I think the point is that you have to try and make the best of whatever you have, really. And the journey just becomes so much easier when you don't think of the bad things, really. When you don't think of the miserable things. And when you are able to get on with life and move on, I think that's what has made it possible for me, really, to be able to enjoy every moment. It's not that there have been no lows. So many lows. Like, as I said, like, nobody knows that I had, after effects of polio, and nobody knows many other things about me. But actually, I'm an open book. Everybody knows every thought that's going on in my head, and all of you know that I'm not faking it. And I think being honest is one of the first things that I learned very early in my life. When you're honest, I think honest with yourself, really, and you know your limitations. I just learned a lesson just now. It's such a long walk from where we were. And I've had a knee surgery recently. I've not spoken about that either. There's something in your mind, it's your own mind, that pulls you down. And I kept saying, no, and everybody said, just take the wheelchair. What is this thing inside your mind that stops you from doing these things? And I said, no, I'll walk. And I walked and I walked and walked. And this journey was never ending. So I said, okay. And then it just came to my mind and said, what's wrong in taking help when you know you need the help? And there are people always to help you. And suddenly everything became such a smile for me. That's why when I entered over here, I said, well, if you need help and there are people to help you, why not? So I'm grateful to the man who had to push so much of weight all the way from there. Hi, I think he's at the back over there. Okay. So we'd like to say thank you. Actually, it's not a huge big thing. The main thing is to be happy in your own space and comfortable in your own space. That's how it worked out.
So as we are speaking of, womanhood And for decades and for centuries, there's always been this thing around, it's, saying woman belongs to the personal domain, and extremely successfully and extremely smoothly. But I'm sure you've had your own set of challenges. So how does Usha Uttup, like how your personal space inspires your professional space, and how your professional space inspires your personal space in any way?
I think, for all women, whether you're a nurse or whether you're a doctor or whether you're a teacher, we all go through this, isn't it? We go through guilt pangs that you've left your children home and you've got to go to work, and there's so many things. So it's not very massive, it's not such a big thing. I always look at it that way, that I'm just like the girl next door. Just ordinary like all of you. Yeah, and there's nothing great about it. I mean, I think, okay, you don't know about this. I said I was a very honest person, but I did tell many lies when I was younger. I don't anymore. In fact, I stopped long time back. But one of the lies that I told was to a newspaper person who asked me just like Srishti did just now, so beautifully she asked me. This girl was little, even just into the business, She had to have this. All right, tell me, Miss Uttup, how do you keep your... this is something different I want to ask you. Of course, usually when people start interviewing you, they say they want to ask you something different. And I say, okay, go ahead, is it really different? Yeah, and they say, something, it's going to be so different, our interview. Tell me something. And you think, wow, she's going to ask me something really intelligent. And they say, tell me, how did you start? How did I start? That's going to be such a long story. It's not so easy. But you see, when they asked me this question 53 years ago, how do you keep your personal life and your professional life separate? And I told a lie. It was such a big lie. And I think all the women will agree with me sometime or the other. I said, in the same style, I said, you know what? I keep them in 2 watertight compartments. I don't allow one to flow into the other. And I went back home and we had a nice fight, my husband and I. What rubbish I was talking. What a lot of rubbish, yeah? Yeah, look at her laughing, keeping one. And then I believed in that lie. I believed in that lie. Sometimes lies help us. If you believe in it and if there's an honesty in it. So, I decided to keep my professional life totally separate and my personal life totally separate. At home, I was very satisfied just being Mrs. Uttup. And it was tough in the beginning, very, very tough, because you do a very successful show like tonight. Everybody is loving me and, so fantastic for me to be with all of you and everything's just going tickety-boo, so many photographers, all this fun. And then when you get back home, you got to go and make the beds, you got to make the chapati, you got to clean the bathroom, what the hell. So you just learn that has to be part of your life. And so I learned how to do it and I did it well. Because I have 2 young children at that time. And I started doing all the I always did housework. So I did all the housework, and of course my husband took it for granted that I was his ayah. So what? Unpaid, that too. Sometimes I still ask him for a backlog of the services rendered for 53 years. Yeah. Ladies, I think it's a good thing for you to do that too. I got one. I got paid for, I got my first diamond ring in my life. I never had. He actually bought me. I think I need a clap for that, yeah. So I was able to keep my personal life out of my professional life, and I never ever imposed my family to music. I didn't insist that there should be loud. People used to think I must be having the best sound system, so much of music going on, and all the time there would be music. But no, There was BBC, there was cricket commentary, there was everything but music, because we say it's democratic that the husband should get his way, but actually it's like Hitler's government, yeah? But it's nice. As long as, ladies, as long as you know, let them do what they want. But let it be seen that, oh hi, I love your hairstyle. You, terrific. Give him a hand, come on. There's so many of them. And so I realized that, if you are clever enough, the women, you can let them take the decision. Let them feel they've taken the decision, but actually it's your decision. So you're fine. So the housework means, you can do it well. And then the professional life, it was such a release for me to go onto the stage and know that you can just sing. And with God's grace, you know that people will clap and people will enjoy your music and you will get all the smiles. And so I didn't take my family life or my problems into my professional life. So I kept them two very, very, very different watertight compartments, like the lie that I told, and it worked for me. It worked for me, and I advocate this for all the young ladies over here, and even some of the older ones who might have forgotten and, they need a little bit of a nudge. So I'd like to say that just keep it all separately. The minute you keep it separately and you don't interfere with it, don't let one stop the other, and don't let one interfere with the other. It will really make your life easy. And it did make mine easy. I was able to go onto the stage like even now. I mean, I can talk about it easily without feeling it. My son is going through dialysis, okay? It's a sad thing. And I'm sure everybody has their own crosses to bear. There's so many problems that all of us face, yeah? But to keep that separate, it's not always possible. It's very difficult to do in certain respects. But sometimes it's easy when you know that you are committed and when you are devoted and when you're honest to what you're doing. As long as you're at home and you're being mother and you don't allow the music to come in. You don't allow your professional life to come in. You're everything, happy, making the beds, cleaning the toilets, doing everything. It's just fun. And during COVID, we used to buy the vegetables, keep it outside the door, sanitize it over there, bring it back inside, sanitize it over there, keep it over there. Then, oh God, what all haven't we done during COVID? But we got through it. And here we are in Sharjah at the International Book Fair. And isn't that absolutely wonderful, really? I think it all boils down to the fact that you must be able to prioritize. Like, for example, I am an iron pishache, which means I just have to get my clothes ironed myself. It's a great therapy. Isn't that in the book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of these interesting things about Usha ji is in the book. How she was as a little girl, her quirks, how she was a complete tomboy. She irons her clothes. She actually designs the shoes that she wears. I would like everybody to see her Kanjivaram shoes that she designs herself. So in the book, we all have known Usha Uttup as a star, as this huge celebrity, this absolutely unique and amazing singer. But, in the book, you will actually get to see the Usha Uttup that stands behind this star and gives her all the support, all the magic, all the energy that she has and what makes her. So, speaking of all these things, I would like to ask you, so you sing in 17 different languages. You've performed across the world. I don't think there's any, any country where you haven't performed. And, I've seen you interacting with different cultural spaces. and the amalgamation is just absolutely natural. So how it came to you, because it also has a bit to do with your childhood, because you had a very beautiful environment growing up, you had friends from different cultures, and so still I see that it's a huge part of your life, the way you interact with people, communities, you just kind of, say mingle with them in a very natural way. Like it just flows. So I want to know the magic behind this process that you have.
Actually speaking, where's that lady? She's left you. She's left you. She's left you for another? Okay, it doesn't matter. She'll probably be back. You know that line, no? If you really love somebody, let him go. If he comes back, he's yours. If he doesn't, he never was. It's a good one, huh? So clever, Bapre.
There's a new theory around it, by the way.
Oh my God.
If you love somebody, you first set them free. Then when they don't come back, you hunt them down and you shoot them.
Well, okay, that's a good one.
Times have changed.
Times really have changed. That's a really good one. Oh God. Please don't get my Sylvester Stallone arms. Okay. Suddenly the music went dead. What happened? What did you do? Hello? No. I think you did something with the EQ. Your hand touched it. Don't touch it. Okay. No, not you. All right. Because he's getting my arms. I don't want the arms. Don't do that. Oh, okay. See, something has gone wrong somewhere. Okay, it doesn't matter. So how did I get into language? Okay, I keep saying to everybody in my shows that I really believe that music is the strongest bond and strongest unifying factor in the whole world, in the whole universe, to get people together. You don't really need languages, really, for music. And then I realized that every language has a certain musicality about it. The dialect, the way you pronounce it, everything has a different kind of musicality. So where language is concerned, it's quite amazing. I went to a convent school, and I'm not saying that everybody who goes to a convent school will become a linguist, but I went to a convent school where English was the medium of teaching. This was in Bombay, and the second language was Hindi, third language was Marathi, fourth language was French, and we spoke Tamil at home. So you can just imagine we've already had a great foundation of music, of languages. So it kind of made me feel thrilled to know that I knew so many languages. I just took it for granted. But then when I started singing, I realized that if there was a crowd, see, there's something wrong with the mic, yeah, or with your receiver. No, the receiver. It was perfect, actually. I always feel good when my voice sounds good. Yeah, okay. That's Jose over there who's done the music. No, suddenly it's gone. See that? I think it's have you got a battery for this?
Do you want this?
Maybe the battery is down. I'm more a technician, actually. I know all these things, so. So then when I realized that there was an audience, and even if there was one person, say from Maharashtra, okay, and I suddenly started, I can't believe you're leaving the room now. I came all the way from India for this. Yeah. Oh, okay, maybe they're coming back, yeah. Maybe that one's okay.
Do you want to take this?
But you can hear me right at the back, there's no problem. So I realize if there was somebody from Maharashtra and I recognized that they were from, a Marathi-speaking background, and if I sang Kasakai Patil Barahai Ka Sanga Barahai Ka Kalkai Aiklate Kharahai Ka, and they would all love it, the audience just loved it. So when you touch the chord of a person, in the heart, with their language, with the local language, I feel that the reaction is quite different. And so I slowly started adding more and more languages to my repertoire. And I would sing in, of course, I would sing in Tamil, I would sing in Konkani, I would sing. And I found that the reaction of the audience was always unbelievable. Really unbelievable. And so, thanks. Thanks. Jose, I think you better get another job. You come and sing and I'll do the sound. Let me try that. This is gone. Is this better? No. Is this? No, it's not.
This one's gone completely. I guess it's okay. Didi, you just please continue.
Yeah, as long as you can hear me. No, there's a kr sound coming. So change the battery. No, don't be so confused. Battery's full. Okay, doesn't matter. We won't waste time on that. So I learned more and more languages and my repertoire grew. And when I had done quite a lot of about 17 Indian languages, I realized that in my nightclub sessions, especially when I was singing in a 5-star restaurant or whatever, 5-star hotel, I realized that there were so many international people over there. And so I started singing in Spanish, I learned French, and I did Swahili. I did lots of foreign languages as well. So that made me, I suppose that is truly my USP, because you would find a lot of, amazing singers in India and around the world who have, who sing, but they've never been to Assam, And I got the opportunity to go to Assam. I've gone to Orissa. I've gone to the interiors of Bihar. And all this is possible only because of the language. And there are so many, I'm sure, better singers than I, and much renowned, and but they never got a chance. Like, I don't think someone like Elton John could have gone to Lohardaga, or could have gone to Gujarat or Maharashtra. So I feel very proud to say that in the larger picture, we're all citizens of the world, but it's great to be Indian. Because, you come into the world with an advantage of 17 basic languages and God knows how many dialects. So it's really fantastic. And I think learning language is really just the most amazing thing. Of course, I learn all the language with, I write in Roman script most often, but I use Hindi as well. So it's really exciting. For me, language is one of my biggest excitements that lead me to a different dimension of music, really. I think language is marvelous.
Lovely. Yeah, a big round of applause.
Yeah, and I grew up with, different, as she pointed out, as Srishti pointed out, I grew up with different, in Bombay in those days, or I would say in India or anywhere in the world, we never knew what religion was, really. I come from, I'm born Hindu, but I went to a convent school, and there I believed that I would become a nun, and I would be, I was so thrilled and excited that I was made to ring the Angelus bell, and everything about me I felt was Christian. In fact, I'm more Christian than many Christians I know, in the true sense of loving and giving and sharing and forgiving. And then we used to do Lakshmi Puja, Varalakshmi Puja at home, and we did Ganesh Chaturthi at home. And then I was celebrating Eid with my neighbors, with the Pathans, and we just didn't know anything about religion. It was so beautiful. I don't know what has happened to the world, really. I'm sure there would be many people of my generation or nearing the kind of world that I come from, where we never discriminated, you know. I just grew up with Muslims as my neighbors, and I know all their Reet Rivaz, I know how to keep Roza, I know how to, do the namaz with them, and it's just unbelievable what has happened really to the world now.
Even that beautiful anecdote where your brother said that, like she actually pretends. How your my younger brother had said once that, because you came from a completely vegetarian household and you had friends and, like you were extremely fond of Pathan auntie and you would spend hours at their place, and every time you would come back, he would say that, like she just pretends to be a vegetarian in this house. She actually goes there, eats all kinds of things, and she comes back, and it's in the book. So yeah, it's like all these beautiful, memories and the innocence of childhood where, it's like religion, faith and all, like we don't really think about it. So yeah, you can continue on that thought.
That is truly such an amazing thought, really. Where you never thought of religion and you just grew up like, I don't remember my Appa and Amma ever telling me, sit down and study and we have to have quality time. Like all the parents today, they're so worried about it's so different now. But my brother, Babu, just older than myself, he and Shamu, my other elder brother, would make fun of me and say that actually she loves to go to Jamila's house and have all the gosh and, all the mutton and everything over there. She comes over here and she says, give me rasam, give me sambar. So, so we really didn't know the difference, in the way we were brought up. It was such an amazing childhood. And I'm so grateful, really, to God for giving me that kind of childhood, because I'm not able to pass on everything to my children now because their exposures are so different, So with my action, instead of talking about it, through my action, I'm able to, express to them that, what's going on in the world is something, we can't get away from, but we can definitely change ourselves instead of trying to change other people all the time. I think if it changed from deep within, it's a mindset, and I think it has to go. And it will. Maybe we won't see it in our generations, who knows. But I think COVID has taught us such a lot, isn't it? It's brought the whole world together, and COVID, nasty COVID, really. There's so many things. I think we've all got it, no? It's amazing. You got it? You got it? Yeah, you got it. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we all got it, yeah. But in the beginning, no, everybody was so scared to admit that they got it. It was something crazy. Oh, you got it? I got it too. Yeah, that kind of spirit. So I think our times were different when we grew up. And I think it's sad that our children can't go through that. Our children will grow up with masks as something which is common, will grow up with boundaries which would become common. And whoever thought that we would ever see something like Ukraine and Russia, whoever thought it would happen again? I had absolutely no idea, because when I went to perform in Russia and then I performed in Ukraine, some of my biggest hit songs are from Ukraine and some of my biggest hit songs are from Russia. So what is it that music is able to overcome all these things? And it's just sad. But things will be better. As I always said, I'm a complete optimist, and I always believe that the harder you throw me down, the stronger the comeback, like a tennis ball. Yeah. And that's how it should be, actually. Hi there, are you coming in? Yeah. Oh, hi, in the blue shirt.
We're very happy to have you here. We're really very happy. So welcome to Sharjah, first of all. And something I want to tell you before I ask you is you are probably the only person from Bollywood who has that very, very appealing, amazing mix of modernism and traditionality. So that is something extremely unique in you, and that makes you stand apart from everybody else.
Thank you so much.
So we are really impressed. We are really happy to have you here. But and yes, I should pay you so many compliments. One of which today I realize is you are an extremely witty person. Absolutely.
Actually, my US, I mean, if we don't have a sense of humor, we can't carry on life, you know. And this lady, this exciting lady who's just walking up, Rekha, is, she's so beautiful, and I realize she's Scorpio. I'm Scorpio too, don't forget that. Don't forget, next year, my birthday, or even now, you can send me an email or something like that and say belated. But you look marvelous.
Thank you very much. May we know your birthday?
8th November.
We will send you.
I've already told you I'm 75, so you can calculate, yeah?
Certainly.
Usually when I talk about, when people talk about age, I always tell the audience, आप लोग सब सोच रहे होंगे कि ये कितनी उम्र की होगी. So before they think too much and they get their calculators out, I just tell them my age. Yeah. Hi, Ravi.
One last request to
Yes.
you, ma'am, is just one piece of advice for you from all those teenagers and youngsters who look up to your experience and your wit to learn from you.
You want me to give you a message? I think messages just happen, and it should be gleaned from whatever they get. That's the best thing. But if I were to tell the youngsters today, in music, you mean? Or trying to make a career in music? In music, well, I would tell them to believe in themselves first. Secondly, hang in there no matter what happens. Don't give up. And another thing, be 100% honest. The more you cheat, the more you try to cheat, and the more artificial you become, the sooner or later it's going to fall off. And that's why I say even glamour, I mean, okay, you can be glamorous, and, I'm not saying that the youngsters today, they're also body conscious and how beautiful they look when they're singing. But sometimes I think, especially what I've learned from my audiences, is that after a point of time, I don't think people care really what you're wearing and how you look, if your talent or if what you're saying is 100% honest. Like, I'm hoping that most of you wouldn't have noticed that my sari was an iron today. Because I believe in it. I think sometimes, we were talking about it, and then, I just changed the subject, that sometimes you have to believe in yourself. So I'm sure it's happened to all of you that you can wear the most expensive things and feel most uncomfortable because you're not happy with yourself, And sometimes the most mundane, which people would think was such an ordinary kind of thing, and you wear it and you believe in it, so you look beautiful and people think you are beautiful. I think it's all about yourself in your mind, and if you are honest, I think I would tell this to all the youngsters today. Be 100% honest with yourself and with the path you have chosen. Yeah.
There's an observation that I would like to tell all of these people here. We had a very tough headmaster, soft inside but a very tough demeanor. And the credit to make him smile just for a wee bit of a second goes to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'll never stop talking about that. I spoke about that to Mr. Bhatnagar even as recent as a week back.
So sweet.
Thank
you so much, really.
Thank you so much.
My name's Sophia.
Okay,
Hi,
Sophia.
Sophia.
Hello. I haven't heard any of your songs yet, but I'm planning to hear one.
You do that. That's what I say. When children are so honest, it doesn't matter to them whether somebody's going to feel take umbrage, oh, you don't know me kind of thing. No, I love that. I love what you said because it's so, I mean, why would you expect the whole world to know you? You know, this is what I say. So I hope, my darling, that you will like my music.
And my question is, what do you like about music?
What do I like about music? It's given me you. The best thing in the world. Yes. Actually, when I started singing in 1969, I was considered quite an oddity because, you know, wearing a sari and singing in a nightclub, and people all used to think that, you know, oh, she must be smoking and drinking, and, you know, because of my voice. And also I was singing in the nightclub. So people have these misconceptions that nightclub girls are not good, and you know how good I am, right? Full 6-yard sari and whatnot, covered. Okay, but there's another thing about the fact that people have these misconceptions, that it's really wonderful that I am able to tell you that in 1969 there were people who used to come to listen to me and hold hands. And then I met them after so many years, and they tell me now that when I was singing a certain song, like say maybe Besame Mucho or Those Were the Days or something like that, and they were holding hands, and they say their great-grandchildren now, I mean with other great-grandchildren, are holding hands. And so I think I inspire fidelity also. I think those people are there together, and it's just wonderful. So the generations, and it's always retro, is where it's at actually. I mean, people, even though they like the new music, they still want the old stuff, and that's where it's at. So I'm so glad that music has brought you and me together. How old are you?
I'm 8 years old, and this month I'm going to turn 9.
My God, that's an old woman. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like for all of you to please give Srishti Jha a huge big hand. You know why? Because it's very, very difficult to translate from Hindi to English, especially when people would have imagined a nightclub singer would be first written in English and not in Hindi. But her father, Shri Vikas Kumar Jha, who wrote this in Hindi, I mean, his language is so fantastic. And to be able to get the essence out of that into English is really amazing. And I really want to thank you, Srishti, as I've thanked you so many times before, for doing such a great job of, I feel so embarrassed to say, the queen of Indian pop. But actually I am, so what the hell. Hi, it's so lovely. Were you there at Shah Rukh Khan's yesterday? No. Oh, then I love you more. See what I mean when being honest, yeah? Because I love the guy myself. I love Shah Rukh Khan so much. But, you know, it was so difficult to get to where he is. Like, there was so much of security. And see, as far as I'm concerned, you are my security. I really mean it. Without you, my life would be a complete zero. So thank you for being there for me for so many years.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move around. Hear my heart burst again. Oh, this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt each moment, so overdue I owe them. Swept away I stolen. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together. That sky fall. That sky fall. Skyfall is where we fall. 1,000 miles and miles apart. Where is the light days are dark. You may have a number, you can take my name, but you never have my heart. And the sky falls when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together. In the sky falls when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together. That sky falls. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. I know I'll never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your hand in my hand, and we stand. Let the sky fall, let it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together. That sky fall. That sky fall. Smile, an everlasting smile. A smile can bring you near to me. Don't ever let me find you gone, 'cause that would bring a tear to me. This world has lost its glory. My love, you think that I don't even mean a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. Next one says talk. Talk in everlasting words, I dedicate them all to me. And I will
do da 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 da. I love you. Photographer, take them all singing. Da 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 da. This world has lost its glory. Let's start a brand new story now, okay? My love, you think that I don't even mean a single word I say. It's to take your heart away. Twice. It's only one more time on the last note, retard. It's only you are just a fantastic audience. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Jani ji bhi karenge, na kisi se karenge. Pura rote samana, jani हम करेंगे. Jani ji bhi karenge, na kisi se karenge. Pura rote samana, jani हम करेंगे. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Rama. Just fantastic. Can we have a big hand for Jacob Verghese? Thank you so much. And of course, Ravi DC and Rekha, the beautiful Rekha. And can we have a big hand? This is my last song for the evening. And normally when I say it's my last song, everybody says, oh no. Or can we do that professionally? Ladies and gentlemen, that next song is going to be my last song for the evening. See that, Jacob Verghese? Pinne vilikano, ketto? Okay. So, when I finish the next song, all of you please shout out for a little bit more. Okay. Are you going to dance? Okay, let's go. Senior. Aisha, come on.
Happy birthday, dear Didi. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. And for all the darlings over here, starting with our darling Jacob Cheka. Okay, we'd like to sing Darling for all of you. आंखों से आंखें प्यार करने दो रुकना मुझको प्यार छोड़ो सारा शर्माने का ये
सनमी बेकरार करने दो डार्लिंग आंखों से आंखें चार करने दो रखना रखना मुझको प्यार करने दो देखे मैं बहारा मैं जाने यारा बुलबुल होगी इंतजार करने दो डार्लिंग आंखों से आंखें चार करने दो डार्लिंग आंखों से आंखें चार